I just put my phone on the start. I'll do what I always do, which is read out some of the facts and stats and team news. Obviously, John might be back in training, but he won't. So I'm just going to go now quickly, just double check if it's up and running. Yeah, it is. So let me just go on to my usual. Some news this morning, which is quite interesting. Now, I think an absolute snip based on his age. He's quick, he's dynamic. Chelsea are prepared to sell Tammy Abraham for £40 million. And I think that is not only a bargain, but something we should definitely take up on. I mean, I just think, well, look at Sturridge we got in from. He wasn't exactly bad, was it? So Tammy Abraham for £40 million is a shit for me, to be honest with you. I think he would do, especially under Klopp's coaching. I think that would be a fantastic signing. And you let me know your thoughts on the video. This video, more or less, I'm doing nice and early because there's no really rush to have everybody responding to it if they're still in the beds or whatever or at work. It's just so you can catch up on it later and obviously listen to the preview I do for Man United. So this is part one. Tomorrow will be part two. And then, well, tomorrow will be part two. Craig Farragut is going to come and sit with me. We're going to discuss the game. So the preview, there's no preview for it yet. It's not come through. It doesn't matter. I can go on to team news. So obviously Matip's back in training. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to have a little look at what the Echo's saying. Good morning, everyone, anyway. So let's see what the Echo is saying about us at the moment. So this is the news in the Liverpool Echo, the local paper, and also anything that's going about. It says here, Liverpool can upgrade on Naby Keita with trademark Michael Edwards signing. Rafa Benitez sums up Liverpool risk Jurgen Klopp is taking. And Liverpool transfer news that Florian Nuhas is interested in Odsonne Edouard snub. So let's read these three out. So these are the top stories from the Echo today. Nice coffee for the morning, and let's get into it. So Naby Keita has played. This is shocking. Morning, and let's get into it. So Naby Keita has played. This is shocking, and he's played 714 minutes for this season. 714. And was hooked before the half-time in wave that Klopp's Liverpool at his best, producing excellent all often, said Josh Williams on the latest. Pep Linders has described Liverpool as a chameleon before it might change colour, but it still knows it's a chameleon. Ronaldo, for instance, is a predominantly defensive and stays behind the ball, but if you want him to go inside the box and score a headed goal, and let's just add a pop-up there, and get through against Barcelona, he can do that as well. Klopp likes well-rounded players, and Camavinga's that. He possesses a well-rounded skill set and is more defensive, but can dribble and get forward if you get out of tight spaces if he needs to. With players at that age, they normally have to learn and make mistakes. And for teams like Liverpool, I'm wary of signing them because you can see as they learn. But Camavinga is ahead of that. Rennes are not in desperate need to sell despite problems in French football with their collapsed TV deal, as they are owned by businessman Francois Pinault as Independent's wealthy backer. But Liverpool could still take advantage of a market inefficiently and get hold of Camavinga on the cheap this summer for two reasons. Firstly, the player's contract will only have 12 months remaining on by the time of the next window opens, and he is reportedly angling for a move, so will not re-sign. And secondly, he has stagnated a little bit this season, and Rennes have had an up and down season with a new manager coming in, meaning his quality is the same as ever, but his current valuation lower. A player of that age and potentially usually costs a fair bit, but the difference here is the contract. Williams added, he's contracted until 2022, and people are led to believe that he's not signing an extension, so that brings his value down. When Liverpool recruit, it is always about exploiting inefficiencies in the market, and you can have an 18-year-old with a really high ceiling but with a limited contract. If he is not signing, his club will want to get rid in the summer or risk losing him on a free. He has a potential to be better than Wijnaldum, and he's left-footed as well, which is really nice. Klopp is always set on having a small squad and gets around it by having players who are very versatile and very rarely suffer from injuries. Camavinga still 18, so it can still come. But he has not suffered from injuries, and it always available. And the comparison to Keita is justified. Keita is better on the ball, more uncomfortable. Camavinga is safer, but fits the mould of modern midfielder, capable with and without possession. Now, I've never even heard of this lad Camavinga, so it just goes to show there's players out there that we don't even know exist, or some of us don't. And, you know, here we go. Camavinga is doing pretty well, much of what you want from a midfielder. So that's the Camavinga link this morning. That was an hour ago by the Liverpool Echo. So if we just go back onto here again and get on to the next story, which I think is something to do with Rafa Benitez, saying something about a risk that Jurgen Klopp's taking at the moment. Lean back. Right, here we go. Let's read this one out. So this is the second one. I'm going to read out 3 of them, and then we're going to talk about Manchester United for 10 minutes, which is only now 3 days away, which I can't wait for. Here we go. Rafa Benitez sums up Liverpool risk Klopp taking. Opposition teams find it easy to create clear-cut chances against Liverpool, and this has proved very costly to the Reds this season. There is always a danger in football that if a team does not put away enough chances, their failure to do so will come back to haunt them in the end. We saw a classic example of that at Anfield last weekend when Liverpool took the lead against Newcastle before failing to convert 4 Opta-defined clear-cut chances. As the Magpies haven't scored twice away from home against one of the Premier League's big 6, Steve Bruce took charge of second goal for the Reds, would have almost secured the points, but it wasn't to be, and Joe Willett scored a 95th minute equaliser to ensure that the point apiece. A glance at the expected goal statistics over 35-38 would suggest that the result was hugely unjust, with a 3-1 win for Liverpool far more in keeping with the balance of chances in the match. That implies that the fault for the result lies within the misfiring forwards who only scored 1 goal when the chances created deserved 3. And while there's some truth in that, Reds still held a lead and failed to see the match out. Newcastle could have scored earlier, they did, and it wasn't for Callum Wilson's effort was ruled out for handball. Sean Longstaff had a clear-cut chance in the first half, while Alisson Becker saved, and Wilson had a moment before his accidental handball, which denied him his goal. As there has been an average of 1.8 clear-cut chances per team per match, the Magpies' total of 2 doesn't appear to be too bad, but we must frame this as a sharper context in their 5 other away games. There are other similar to poor statistics which can be applied to Liverpool's defending in 2021. This is the bit where Rafa says something. Just scroll down. Doesn't say it. Hang on. Just looking for where Rafa says something here. It's, you know, this is the Liverpool Echo for you saying that Rafa's saying something, but I can't even see a quote from Rafa here. It's not even a quote from Rafa, so I don't know where Rafa got it, where they got the Rafa bit from. Yeah, so obviously Manchester United Liverpool this Sunday. So obviously the biggest game of the season. Liverpool v Man United. Doesn't matter whether it's at home, doesn't matter whether it's away, doesn't matter whether it's in the League Cup, doesn't matter whether it's in the Community Shield. It's Liverpool Man United. And obviously they're doing well this season on the back of the fact of all the problems we've had. I'm sure that if we didn't have them won, they sat in the team defence well. We let a defensive display. It was a beautiful victory. Shut up. Virgil van Dijk could have just been given a boost in his reported efforts to feature for the Netherlands at the European Championship. The Liverpool defender remained sidelined since injury for his ACL against Everton back in October, with Reds boss Jurgen Klopp admitting he didn't expect to see the Dutchman return before pre-season. However, the centre-back's rehabilitation is going that well. The possibility of him returning to fitness in time for the Euros remains a hot topic, with national coach De Boer keen to include his fit captain. And he could have handed a lifeline to the Dutch. So decision take. Yeah, I'm just trying to get to the bit if there's any date. 23-man squad. It says by increasing number 26, it could be allowed De Boer to gamble on Van Dijk. I know that Holland have got 2 warm-up games just before they go to the Euro. So technically, if he could come back Van Dijk for say the last 2 games of the season for us and play 2 warm-up games for Holland, he's going to go to the Euros with 4 games. And that's what people say we don't want him to go to the Euros. But you know what I do? Because it will get him more game time pre-season, and that means that he'll come back. Van Dijk won't have a setback with this injury. He won't. He's too much of a machine. And you see that in the way he's training. I worry more about going coming back injury because it's his second one, but this was worse than an ACL. So you just don't know. But I would actually say that that I think Virgil will come back before the end of the season. It's already back now. So can you imagine if we could just win against Man United, win the next two, get Matic back, he comes in. If we win the last 5 games, and get 15 points, we'll finish in the top 4. I'm sure of it. In fact, I think if we win 4 out of 5 and draw 1, we'll get in the top 4. So I'm just going to see if anyone else is up saying good morning. Yeah, such a shame, Makata. Afternoon. You can't say good morning anymore according to Twitter. Can you see Lucas? Oh yeah, he's just woke up, bless him. He's going to school in a minute. Good morning, Deborah. Yeah, I've seen that about Ollie Watkins, yeah. So that's, yeah, I'm still going to go out about Tammy Abraham. I think he'd be a snip at 40 million. I think Klopp could get the best out of him. So Tammy Abraham, I remember he's had some good games against us, and he can score goals. Played for England, and how old? I think he's about 21, isn't it? So Tammy Abraham, 40 million. Chelsea have actually put that up as a value. I'm surprised Man United don't go in for him, to be honest with you. So it'll be interesting to see where he goes. I can guarantee it won't be to a small club anyway. So, yeah, that's just a short preview. I was just going to do one for Manchester United, but at this moment in time, my normal preview that I read out hasn't loaded yet. It's later on today or this afternoon or tomorrow. So I'm going to be back on in a bit. Hopefully my scratch cards should arrive today, so I want to start getting the teams filled in now because we've got obviously 80 teams to get rid of, and I want it filled before Sunday. Like I say, the charity we've picked for this week is the NHS. So I'm going to go online now and find out how we can donate to the staff and nurses that work, 24/7. So once I get the link, I will put that on today's scratch card. It says it's going to be due for delivery today anyway. So obviously, get behind that. It's very important for the group to be able to run, to pay for the equipment we need to go around the stadium, and also it's worth it because you get 50 to 80 pounds yourselves, whatever we do free for a £5. So good morning everyone, lovely, beautiful sunny day. If you're going to work, enjoy. That's my alarm for the school run, sorry. And have a great day.